Early voting starts tomorrow. The only early voting location is at the Board of Elections on West Franklin in Gastonia, and they've got the early voting dates out. I think they're all in on the Sundays this year. I believe there are 3 positions that are open this time, and not all the incumbents are running again. So there will be a new council regardless. We've invited our candidates today, and they're going to have 2 minutes to share a little bit about their platform. With 15 seconds left, our CEO, Mr. Mumford, will put a 15-second yellow sign up just to kind of give a warning. If you guys are looking at me, don't worry, Jessica is here as well as the backup there. And when the time comes up, you will have the stop. We're not going to pull the plug, but we're going to ask y'all just to wrap up the final comments and thoughts. No one will not vote for you because you went too short. I promise you that. So that's okay. You don't have to use all 2 minutes. I've got a series of questions. It looks like we've got 7 or 8 questions today, and each candidate is going to have a minute to answer those. After the minute, we'll also do the yellow and the red signs. We will not have time for rebuttals on those comments. However, after all of the questions are done, the candidates are going to have 1 more minute for closing statements where they can share anything, including any rebuttals from there. They have not received the questions. They've just received kind of the general themes that we're focused on. And again, this is on economic development, business development. We're not going to talk about the Middle East or tariffs or anything else like that. But again, we appreciate you guys coming out, and hope you guys enjoy. So thank you. We're going to start with just our 2-minute opening, and then you guys can just pass the microphone to your left.
Hi, my name is Darlene Mara. I live at 610 North Holland Street. I have 2 daughters and 4 grandchildren, and I have lived in Dallas for 60-some years. I love our town, and I think it's going places.
Hello, my name is Starletta Harrison, and I moved here about 10 years ago. I am married to William Harrison. I have 2 granddaughters, 4 boys, and 1 great-grandson. That's hard to say. But I moved here, and I ran for council 4 years ago, lost by a few votes, so I'm hoping to change that. I ran for, like I said, ran for council. I started going to council meetings after that happened, and I also joined the museum, on the board of the museum. I also participate in the Halloween on the square every year that I can. I also was vice chair of the committee to celebrate our 9/11 members. And it was a very traumatic experience for me because I was a flight attendant with American Airlines when the plane hit the Twin Towers. And the guy that was chairman of the board, Jim, he was in the military, and he was at the Pentagon when the plane hit the Pentagon. So we all worked very hard with the town, the mayor, the aldermen, all of the chiefs, the captains of all of our first responders, and we award them a medal for their service. And I hope we get to do it again. That was the 10th anniversary, and I hope we get to do it again on the 25th anniversary. Thank you.
Mr. Bill, before you start.
Good morning. I am Frank Melton. I am an incumbent this year for a seat on the Board of Aldermen here in the town of Dallas. I've lived in Dallas now probably for 31, 32 years. I am a husband, a father, a grandfather, and a great-grandfather. Air Force veteran, 27 years in the international freight and customs brokerage services. Having served in the military myself, I have been many places over many years. And I'm currently serving as a senior pastor of First Baptist Church in Dallas, North Carolina. I just have an affinity for Dallas because it is home. And I really want to see the best for the citizens of this town. Because, you know, in a lot of ways, what happens on the municipal level within our communities is even more important than some of the things that happen on the national level. I'm not a politician. I'll be the first one to tell you, I am not a politician. I am a public service. My cares and my concerns are for my town and the citizens that live here, my neighbors, my friends, my relatives, and to make it a better place for us and for those that come to this town. When they come, when they leave, we want them to have fond memories of the time that they spent in Dallas, whether it was 5 minutes or 5 months. So I thank Steve and I thank the Gaston Business Association for this opportunity, and it's just a pleasure to be here with you all today.
Okay, so each question is going to start with a different candidate. I'll start with Darlene on the second question. We'll start with Starletta. If you do need me to repeat the question, I'd be happy to do so. So our first question for all the candidates: what motivates you to run for the Dallas Board of Aldermen? And what values or experiences would guide your decision-making if elected?
I was on the council for 12 years. I haven't been on it for 2 years. I love the town and I see it going places. I just love everything about it and the people in it.
Okay. Dallas is a great place to live, and I want to be a part of my community. After running for the Board of Aldermen, that just told me that there was a lot of people that want to be a part of this community and that wants to lend a helping hand to make it the best community that they could. I bring communication skills. I work with many people at one time, so I know I'm able to work with my council, my mayor, and I look forward to working with them. I've been a councilwoman for 4 years, but in South Carolina, not here. So having been a councilman, I do know what experience you have to have, what knowledge you have to have with whatever is going on in the community. And I look forward to working with the mayor and the other aldermen to give them my experience and my communication skills.
You want to go down front here?
Motivation. Well, I just want to see the best for this community. I've always seen Dallas as being something special. And when you get to know the history of Dallas, with it being the first county seat and see this beautiful building across the street, it lends to that as this place being something special. And I think that it's a human trait that we all want to be a part of something that may be even bigger than us. And that is a motivating factor of wanting to see the best for the town and for all of the citizens and those that come to Dallas to visit.
Thank you. This next question will start with Starletta and then continue to your left. How do you define the role of an alderman in serving the residents of Dallas? And how would you approach collaboration with town staff and fellow board members?
I think it's having great communication skills, willing to work with anyone on any subject. I also believe it's great to learn to have communications with our elected officials in the state and in the Congress, because with that communication, you get to do things like, building on the CDC and finding out how they can help our town. And I've worked with the CDC before and with our representatives, and working with the CDC, we can bring funds to this county and funds that we need, whether it's building homes, whether it's infrastructure, no matter what you need. It is a great thing. And I know we have one state representative here, and I think that if we work with them, we can make great things happen for Dallas. The front, going back.
Oh, thanks.
All right, defining what, as far as what alderman means to me, being an alderman in the position that I am in and have served in, I see myself as being a liaison between the citizens of the town who may not have a full voice in what is happening in the town, or may not know about the proper processes and procedures, whereby they can come to me or my fellow aldermen and to voice their concerns, and that we would be that voice to the town government to help them with whatever situations and problems that they might face. But also our duty, and especially in the form of government that we have here in the town of Dallas, is that we are the ones that balance the budget, and we take care of processing ordinances for the town that hold true to what the town is truly all about.
I have had a lot of experience with the town and with all the people around. I get out and I talk to them, I listen to them. I do not promise anything to them. I will try to help in the best way I can. I love this town, and I think Haley is doing a wonderful job, and all of the rescue people, fire department. I'm very proud of all of them.
If you want to give that to Frank, I'll just be loud, then you guys can keep it up down there. Dallas is growing while maintaining a small town feel. How would you balance attracting new development while preserving the history and character that makes Dallas unique?
Good question, and really, we know that Dallas is a small town, and what you're looking at outside here are buildings and trees and a lot of things that have been here for quite some time. So there's a lot of rich history here in the town of Dallas, and I think that it is very important for us to preserve that, especially here within the business district or the center city. We are facing growth pains, if I can use that term, here in Dallas as well, but maybe not as much as there are in other communities. But we must be responsible for how we grow and how things are done, coming in, and keep the citizenry in mind, as well as keeping the old town feel. So, I think that is very, very important for those of you that are of a certain age. It brings back memories of days gone by when you come into a small town like this and you see the buildings and the storefronts and everything. So I think that's very important for Dallas to keep in this portion of town. But as far as growth and everything, we must be responsible for how we do that in the outlying areas as people do move to this area.
Well, I know that this town, from talking to the citizens, they want to keep this a small town feel. And I think we can do that if we work with the developers and we work with the town to exactly find out what they want in the town, so we don't overgrow any part of the town. I think that we have to look at our infrastructure. We have to look at our first responders. We have to look at all the things that change the town and making sure that we keep the feel that the citizens want. And I think we need to look at our schools, make sure that we have the infrastructure that we need to do that and not overgrow and put this service on our first responders, on our citizens when they feel like they're being shut out on the way they want this town to feel. So I would love to talk to them, talk to the town, make sure I understand exactly the way they want this town to grow.
I go around and I talk, I'm just a normal person. I work like everybody else in the yard and everything. And I talk to people all the time. I listen to them, but I do realize that you can't please people, all of the people, all the time. But you can listen to them and know that they're important. And I invite people to come to our town meeting all the time. This is a very important thing. If you have a problem, to go to the mayor or come to our meetings and express what it is and let others hear.
Darlene, you can keep the microphone for the next question. What do you see as the most pressing infrastructure or public works need in Dallas, such as roads, water and sewer, or public facilities, and how would you address it?
We need to work on our water system and on our streets. There's a lot of things that we can do to improve it. A lot of work is being done, but there's a lot more that could be done.
Hey, I would like to talk with the town, with the mayor and aldermen to find out exactly what they have planned for the end of this year, and then what they have for next year, because that's gonna depend on what we do and what I see. Because I know that the schools, and I know with not only the roads and things like that, you have to have our first responders able to take care of the needs. And that's my most important thing, is that as we grow, we make sure that we take care of the needs of the citizens. And infrastructure is one, and our schools is another, and also our first responders, that's the third. I think all those things, if you can't take care of them, it's hard to grow a town.
Beyond a shadow of a doubt, infrastructure is very, very important, and we are in the process of doing some things for our water and our sewer systems. If the town is going to grow, we must have a vital infrastructure that's going to be able to support all of the incoming buildings and people as well. So infrastructure has been one of my main focuses since I have been on the board. It is, I will say, it can be a slow process because infrastructure is not quite as simple as going material up the street, laying down pipes and moving forward. You've got to go from the beginning all the way to the end to improve these things and to keep them up. It is not necessarily cheap, but with responsible budgeting, it can be done. Infrastructure, very, very important and high on my list.
Well, Starlight will go next. Yep. Next question. The downtown area and local businesses are central to community identity. What specific steps would you support to strengthen economic vitality and attract new investment to downtown Dallas?
Okay, I've always been a business person. I look forward to bringing more business, especially to the downtown area, because you have more business, you have more traffic, and that makes the businesses very happy. I look forward to, I know we have everything else, I would like a coffee shop. I don't know if we have one on Main Street. I would like to see a restaurant that serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I know we have stuff that say it serves one thing or the other, but I'd like to see one that serves all, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, so you could have a choice. And we already have one like that, but I'd like to see more. I'd like to see anything that a business feel like they can contribute to Dallas, especially downtown Dallas.
Downtown is very vital, as we've talked already about the small town feel. The we're somewhat limited as far as storefronts are concerned right here in this area, and limited as far as space to really expand this uptown section. I know we do have facade grants available for businesses that do move into this block, and I think that is very important for the front structure of this block and these buildings to be upgraded to a point of attractiveness, keeping the old school feel to it and look to it, but also making it very attractive from the outside. And when you're coming up and down this road and you get to this block, you will say, ah.
I think that the people that I have talked to think that we need more shops in town, everyday people. For the people that's coming through, most of them won't stop, but I remember whenever we had Mary Jo's on the corner, how people would flock into Dallas. I would like to see something great come where we bring more people into town.
So are we for Frank first? We're going to get a new microphone soon. I think that's on our wish list here. How will you ensure the citizens have meaningful opportunities to engage with the board and share their perspectives on key town issues?
Great question, and one that is close to my heart, because I try to encourage people and have since I've been on the board, and really getting a full understanding of how municipal government works. Quite often, citizens believe that a lot of things are automatic, and they take things for granted. But I try to encourage them, look, you need to come to the meeting to see how this thing is handled, and give your input, because we always have a section for public comments, and they are very much welcome, and they carry a lot of weight with the mayor and with the alderman and with the town staff as well, when we see the faces of our citizens sitting in those chambers. So I encourage everybody, and I speak to them, especially when they come to me and they have issues and they're concerned about this and that and the other. I will ask them and say, have you been to a board meeting? And I said, well, I encourage you to come, and I'll give them the date, the time, and let them know it's uptown here in that beautiful courthouse. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to see you. I'm only one person on the board of 5 aldermen plus the mayor. The faces and the voices of the citizens mean a lot.
I encourage the people to come to our meetings if they have a problem, if not, to come to us, and we will take it before the board and see what they can tell or can help them do to straighten out what is wrong. I know that we can't please everyone, but we can try.
Okay, the thing that I think we need to get everybody to understand the town and who they have is civics. I hate they took civics out of school, because I think everybody needs to know who their mayor, their aldermen, the people at the state, the people in Congress, and also our fire chief, our police chief, everybody, because they'll know if they know who they are, they may be willing to come and talk to them. But I think knowing who they are may encourage them to come to council meetings. It may encourage them to feel good when they see the police captain or when they see the chief of police, because they'll know who he is and they'll be okay. They won't feel like it's something that they can't do. They'll feel like it's something they can do. I'd also like our colleges to look at how we do civics or how we introduce our citizens to all the people that run this town, because I think that's very important. Thank you.
Okay, so next question, Darlene goes. Sorry. Okay, 2 more questions. Fiscal responsibility is always a key concern. How will you approach budget decisions to ensure that Dallas continues to provide high-quality services while maintaining affordability for residents?
Budget is very important for everyone, and
also would like to know if we have a surplus, that we have more than just the budget, we have a surplus. If something needs to happen and the budget is saying one thing, we have a little bit on the side to be able to take care of it. I also feel that when you're talking about the budget, that the people needs to know what it is you're trying to get, and they'll be more willing to, if we need something to implement a little bit more, they'll be more willing to work with you on that. So I think having the citizens in on everything that you're trying to do, tell them what it costs, and if we have a budget that also provides for a little more, that it could cost a little bit more to do whatever we're trying to do, especially on infrastructure. And on infrastructure, I hope that we have someone that does, our CDC or somebody that, performs that function so we can have money coming from the state as well, and not just from the town.
The budget. Very important for cities and towns of all sizes. The budget is what makes the town run, allows the town to run. And in this day and time, in 2025, the budget that we have in the town of Dallas, like the budget of every city and town in the United States, is directly tied to the economy. If the economy is not doing well, there are going to be issues within the town that we have to do something within our budget to make sure that the services still move forward for the town. And it is important for citizens to know that the town, just like your household, we face those economic issues as well. When the price of gas goes up, we pay that price increase as well, or cost of goods. Therefore, there has to be a way to balance those things so that we're able to provide for the town and the citizens the things that they need. So budget is very, very important. We must be very mindful and spend wisely, and to make sure that we have enough to do what the town needs to be done.
Okay, final question, we'll start with Starletta. Paint us a picture. Looking ahead over the next 4 years, what is your vision for Dallas? And what two priorities would you focus on first to move the town forward?
When I see the town, hopefully, that have a continuous small town feel, that we'll also always have the budget that we need to perform that feature. And I also would like to see how we work with the college to see how that's gonna affect the town as they bring things like sports or whatever they bring to the town, how that would help us. And I also would like to deal with the Chamber of Commerce so we can know what is coming to Gaston County, because that'll always affect what's happening in Dallas, no matter what small town you have. I think that's very important that you work with the Chamber of Commerce, town to Gaston County, and our colleges, and also our schools, because if we do everything we can to keep that balance, we'll be okay in Dallas. And I hope that we bring more businesses, especially to the square of Dallas, because people see it, they'll want to come.
But priorities, most of all, for me, is that we maintain responsible growth. It's something that is going to come, but we have to be mindful of how we do those things, and in order to maintain what we have now. We don't want to grow too fast, we don't want to change too quickly, but at a metered rate, which, considering where the town limits of Dallas are, there's not a whole lot of expansion in areas that we have. So growing within that and annexing areas as we do grow. We just have to look at what we're really looking to do in the future. We do have 2040 plan, I believe, that looks forward to those things, and we want to keep that small town North Carolina feel that you just don't get in any other part of the country except for North Carolina and Dallas. As we know, on the last couple of years, Dallas has been set as one of the top 10 small towns in this state. And we want to maintain that and take it even higher.
I would hope that later on the state would provide better traffic coming through Dallas. I hear that all the time. I think that it is growing. We need to kind of slow our growth down because it is just getting horrible for people to come. I listen to it all the time. But I think that the town will grow and it will please the people as it goes.
So our closing comments, we'll start with Frank. So you have 60 seconds to respond to any other comments or just to share anything else that you'd like the residents to know.
Well, once again, I thank Steve and the Gaston Business Association for this opportunity. For you all, a lot of you, as I've gone through and we talked earlier, I know that you're not particularly from Dallas, but I'm glad that you took the time on your business meeting to have us to come in so you can hear about this little town. And if you haven't spent much time over here, we want y'all to come back. Amen. Continually, bring your dollars with you for sure. I have really enjoyed my 6 years on the board, and I know that I've been a part of a lot of things that are going forward now, and I would like to continue to be a part of that. We have a great board. We work together well, and we just looking for a bright future, and we want to see that Dallas shine right here in this little town. Thank you.
The only thing I can say, I can't disagree with any of them and what they said, but I agree with always making Dallas the place that people always want to come to and come back to, because we have great businesses along here and we support those businesses, and any business that come here will also support them. So I look forward to you coming to Dallas again. I know this is for the meeting, and thank you so much for the meeting, but we want you to come back when you're not here for a meeting, just to visit and eat at some of our restaurants, visit the stores that we have, and I also want to say that the schools are very important to us. We're growing, and we need to make sure that our kids know what it is in Dallas and who it is in Dallas and who runs Dallas. Our mayor, our aldermen, everybody needs to know they can come to anyone here and know that they'll be heard. I look forward to whatever the college has to come. I know they have their aquatics. I remember that they have that coming. I'm not sure when, but I know it's coming. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to introduce myself, and thank you for visiting Dallas.
I too thank all of y'all for coming to Dallas to hear what we have to say. And I think that it's very important for all the people to know that they can come to someone to talk to or complain about, and we will listen, or we will carry it on. Thank you.
Please join me in a round of applause for we will have video on our YouTube page in the next 2 days that will have this information. We'll also share the questions to the candidates that were unable to make it if they want to share on their own social media pages. In a moment, we're going to have Kayla from Dallas Tavern Tap House just say a few words about this lovely location, but I do want to remind you all about our next meeting, which will be held in 2 months.